What's up everyone? Welcome to a video with me and my unmade bed on Saturday. This week is advice to parents. Let's just make a hypothetical situation that your kid just came out as trans. Yesterday, a month ago, I don't know, recently. And you have tons of questions, and that's totally cool. As a parent, I would have tons of questions. I'm not a parent, but I imagine that if I was, I would have many questions. And I just want to see if I can help you with the phrasing of these questions, because I found that with my parents, it wasn't so much the question that offended me, but it was the way in which the question was asked. So this is kind of a video about language and how important that can be when communicating with your child. I'm also assuming that you're at that stage of communicating with your child. Okay. So some of this is going to be personal experience, like what my parents have asked me, and some of this is just general what I would imagine a parent to ask. So the first question, your kid says, "Hey mom, dad, I'm trans." That's how they came out in 2 seconds. And you say, "Are you sure?" Okay, let's go over why this isn't cool. Your kid is probably in one of the most vulnerable positions they've ever been in. I'm using they as a pronoun because I don't know how your kid identifies, so I'm just gonna clarify that also. So your kid is in one of the most vulnerable positions they've been in. They've probably thought about this for a long time, and no one enjoys having terrifying conversations for no reason. So if they're at the stage of bringing it up into the real live world, they're sure enough to tell you. I mentioned this in my intro video as well, but I'm gonna go a little deeper into this explaining, because when you ask "are you sure?" you're implying that sureness is necessary in order to move forward. I'm not sure that 100% sureness in anything exists in the world. You're probably asking "are you sure?" because you are scared, or because you are uncertain about the future of your child, because you're scared about how the world is going to treat your kid. And you're asking, "Are you sure?" Like, maybe if I ask, "Are you sure?" you'll be like, "No," and then we'll just never have this conversation again. It's probably not the case. And I think a way that you could kind of navigate this question is instead saying something like, "How long have you been thinking about this?" Now, it doesn't matter if it's been a week or 6 years. That doesn't make anyone's identity more or less valid. But just that can give you an idea of how long this struggle has been going on internally in your child, and just now are they finally able to want to put that out there and let you know what's going on. Alright, second thing that my parents actually did say to me was actually my mom who said this to me. This is just, I'm shy, I don't want to say it. Okay, so she said, "Why can't you just be a lesbian?" As a parent, you might be wondering what the difference is. My mom was very confused, like, what's the difference between a lesbian and a trans man? Now, I reacted, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Totally different things, but I was like, all right, she doesn't like stay up late at night and read about this, you know, so let me just calm down and explain to her that a lesbian is a woman who likes women, and it is her sexuality. It has nothing to do with her gender, although it is in relation to her gender. She is a woman who likes women. A trans man is not a woman. A trans man is a man. So the fundamental difference between a lesbian and a trans man is that one is a woman and one is a man. And that's just like, you can't ask someone to be a certain gender. It's just they are or they aren't. But what I think she was really asking, the kind of like hidden question in this question was, why can't you be something that I understand? I know what a lesbian is. I know what a woman is. I know what a woman who likes women is. And I don't know what transgender means. So why can't you just be something that I already kind of get? I think is what she was going towards. I think the parallel is that if a lesbian likes women and a trans man likes women, why can't you just be a lesbian? It's like, because that's not you, first of all. And second of all, not all men, think about cisgender men, biological men, not all biological men like women. are attracted to women. So not like women, like misogyny, but that's a whole other issue. Not all biological men are attracted to women. So what makes you think that this man sitting, your child, man, son, boy, person, is attracted to women? You don't know this. I think the assumption that my family made was because of my sex, my gender assigned at birth, and because of my presentation, one would make the conclusion that I was a lesbian. Which is fine, but that's not how I identify. That's never how I have identified, actually. Regardless of my relationships and the genders of people I was in relationships with, that was never an identity that I really claimed to be my own. So, and actually coming out, I've only had one coming out to my parents, and that one time coming out was as trans. I never came out with, this is my sexuality, because I think I didn't even know what to call it. So I was like, why am I gonna have a conversation and be like, hey, I don't know. Then there were some statements that were like, I'll never be able to see you as a boy. That's really, really mean. Never and always are words that are used most often by our childish parts. I'll never do that for you, or I'll always be this way. That's a long time to have zero fluctuation in anything. So I think another way to phrase this, I'll never see you as this, would be, okay, I've known you as this one thing your entire life, and I've called you this one thing your entire life, and I've used these pronouns with you for your entire life, whether that's 15 years, 20 years, 40 years, is a long time, and it's habitual. It's no longer something you think about when you refer to this person. It's just, you don't make that brain connection. It's just what happens. And so because of that, it might take me a long time to adjust to the way you want to be called. Something like that, where it's like, hey, I know this is important to you and I'm probably gonna mess it up, but help me out because I want to make you feel comfortable. That was never said to me, but I wish it was. Other things, so you want cosmetic surgery? No, it's not what your kid wants. If they express the want for surgery, what it would be called is gender affirming surgery. A surgery that is going to affirm your child's gender, make them feel like they are in the body that their mind expects them to be in. That is different than a cosmetic procedure. I'm not trying to hate on cosmetic procedures, because if that makes you feel better, then go for it, do it. I'm not stopping you, I don't care. But there is a difference. I'm insecure about this part of me and I want it to look different. That's different than being like, I am crawling out of my skin every day and this body is not my home. Those are the main questions that I was asked, and I hope that made sense as to like why that way would be offensive to ask and how you can navigate the same question in a kinder way. If you are a parent who wants to be involved and wants to know what's going on in your kid's life in any department, language is important. You don't want to make them feel really bad off the bat. It's okay if you get really frustrated and angry sometimes with the fact that things aren't moving as quickly, easily, nicely as you wanted, but if there's one thing that this coming out and medically transitioning has taught me, this is a very big exercise in patience. So be patient with one another, be kind to one another, and I will see you next time.